All right, let's get right into it. If you're running a landscaping or a hardscaping business, I am willing to bet you've got a gallery page on your website. Of course you do. We all do. It's that beautiful grid showing off our best work. But let me give you the hard truth. For those high-ticket clients, the ones you really want, those photos alone just don't build trust. Not anymore. See, they know anyone can borrow a photo. They know things can be staged. A gorgeous picture just doesn't answer the scary questions that are rattling around in a homeowner's brain. They're looking for something that is way, way harder to fake.
So, what is it they're actually looking for? It's not just a beautiful patio or a stunning retaining wall. They are risk checking. That's the real game here. People spending serious money are way more afraid of the chaos of a badly run project than they are of the price tag. They're lying awake wondering, who are these people that are going to be at my house every day? Are they actually going to finish this thing? Is my yard going to be an absolute disaster zone for months? The real product they are buying from you is predictability. It's peace of mind.
And this brings us to a really crucial shift in how we need to think about selling our work. It's time to stop selling your taste and start showing your evidence. Look, taste is subjective, right? What you think is the peak of design, a client might not care for. But safety, process, reliability, that stuff is objective. The final decision, I promise you, is not about aesthetics. It's about them feeling safe with their investment. Your proof needs to show how the job runs, not just how pretty it looks at the end.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we show that kind of solid evidence? Well, that's where this whole idea of the proof stack comes in. You've got to build proof like a detective builds a case. You're not relying on one piece of evidence. You're stacking up multiple small signals that all agree with each other, that all tell the same story. A single perfect photo? Honestly, it's pretty weak. But a whole stack of evidence showing your process, your materials, your prep work, how you communicate, now that becomes overwhelmingly convincing. So let's break down how to build this stack layer by layer. The very first piece of proof is making your process totally visible. Show them the exact sequence of events. The initial site walk, the excavation and prep, laying the base, the final installation, all the finishing touches. When the steps are a mystery, it creates fear and anxiety for the client. But when the steps are visible, laid out clearly, that creates calm. It signals that you are in total control of the project. Next up in the stack, get transparent about your materials. Don't just throw around phrases like, we use high-quality pavers. Name them. Name the brands, the grades, the suppliers you get them from. Showing actual receipts or supplier names or even spec sheets, that's not overkill. It is a powerful signal of your professionalism and how seriously you take your craft. It proves you are not cutting corners where it really, really counts. Now we get to what might just be the most important layer of proof in the entire stack. This one tackles the client's biggest unspoken fear head on. They're all worried, is this beautiful new patio gonna sink or crack or turn into a swimming pool in a couple of years? Your prep work is the answer. When you show evidence of your base depth, your compaction methods, your drainage solutions, you are directly addressing that fear and proving the long-term durability of your work. And think about this. When a client doesn't hear from you, silence creates stories. And trust me, they're not assuming everything is going great. They're assuming the worst. Having a predictable update rhythm prevents that panic. Just showing a template of your weekly update email or text message proves you have a system for communication. It cuts down on all those, hey, just checking in calls, and it shows that you respect their peace of mind. Do not underestimate this next one. This is a quiet but powerful deal maker. Homeowners are inviting your crew into their personal space for weeks, maybe even months. They absolutely dread the idea of living in a chaotic, messy construction zone. When you show them your cleanup and protection plan, photos of tarps, fencing, a dedicated path for debris, it proves you respect their property. So many clients will choose the contractor who promises not to turn their home into a total mess. What happens after you cash that final check? That is a huge question mark for most clients. By offering a clear warranty and a maintenance plan, you do two very important things. First, you prove that you fully expect your work to hold up over time. And second, you signal that you're going to be around and accountable long after the project is officially done. It is one of the strongest trust signals you can possibly provide. Okay, let's circle back to photos for a second, but with a major twist. Instead of just that one perfect after shot, show the whole progression, a before, a during, and an after, and make sure they all have date stamps on them. This kind of progress evidence makes the work feel so much more real and local. It's undeniable proof that you were there on that specific site over a period of time, doing the actual job. That is incredibly difficult to fake. So what do?
We take all these layers of the proof stack and we combine them into something new. It is time to replace that old, outdated gallery page with what I call a project evidence page. Just imagine a single page on your site dedicated to one major project. It details the process, the materials, the prep work, communication, the cleanup plan, the warranty, and then it uses the photos as supporting documentation at the end. I'm telling you, this one page can close six-figure jobs for you all on its own.
This changes everything. It reframes your entire website from being just a passive portfolio into an active, trust-building machine that's out there working for you 24/7. So I'll leave you with this question. What if your website became your hardest working crew member, the one that closes deals for you before you even have to show up and shake a hand?